What if the poles are melting?
Trees. Thousands of trees. Cities expand. At the point at which the crust of the earth lifts my face. Thousands of trees.
Between the sun and the moon, there's a day so dark. Between the tree and the roof, there's a space so dark. We're here to help. Help remember. We're here to help. Help remember. The Shadowmen are here to help. Help remember. The making of the soil.
Of leaves and rotting things, and great swathes of fungus. That mechanism of decay,
Fungus.
the maker of topsoil, of
Humus.
we all
Move to decay.
all of us, the depth of us in humus, all of us,
Not just us
humans. Life striving to live,
Among myriad other lives striving to live.
we all
Move to decay.
and in decay,
The earth make.
all of us.
A small donation on our passing.
I'm wondering how I ended up here, on this windswept, boggy hillside. Well, I haven't ended up, for I don't know if this is the end yet. But at least I've managed not to be upended. I've managed to keep my balance. No falling over into the bog head first. Maybe I'll be one of those bogmen that gets excavated hundreds of years later, all leathery skin and completely preserved skeleton. Forensic archaeologists will surmise that I was a fine specimen in my day by measuring the length of my long bones, my femurs, tibias, fibulas, and the size of my brain from my well-proportioned skull. They'll know I had a big mouth from the size of my jaw. They will ascertain that I had excellent dental care and ate a varied and healthy diet. But I'd be upended when they find me, head first, with my backside in the air, the peat all grown around me, acid, waterlogged soil preserving everything. And then, one day up on this hill, long after we've exhausted every well of fossil fuels, coal and gas and oil no longer buried deep in the ground, from all the carbon-based life that died and left their energy behind, the trees and fish and shells, I helped burn it all up in one brief, brilliant flare. One day up on this hill, there will be the wet suck of a spade as it sinks into the ground, peeling away the peat. The earth will grow more fuel, and it will be cut again by a man out on a hill loving the turf cutting for the long day. The warm sun caressing his back, the wet suck of turf sods pulled from the bog, soda bread, and milky tea. By the end of the day, he'd hate it for the muck of it, bent double, the ache of it. No, that was in my granny's day. This would be thousands of years from now, and I would be one of those bogmen, a shadow in the peat. The earth would have grown, merged, and absorbed me, sucking, dark, wet. Unity. I will be dark. My skin the color of the soil. Perhaps no one will dig the peat then. I'd be buried forever. For a moment there, that felt very peaceful. The quiet of the soil. To be part of it. Attractive. End up on a lonely hill, fall down and die of exposure in a bog hole. That's a way to go. Guaranteed preservation.
What is it with the cloak, Tom? What does it say? The writing's so small.
I woke this morning, and this cloak was over me. And this note, in the tiniest, neatest handwriting, says, "This is the cloak of the seer."
The scryer, the looker for small things.
The note was pinned to me.
The looker for small things? Sounds like a daft quest to me. Does it give directions? Small? How small? Small like atoms? Neutrons, electrons, protons, muons, and quarks? All those surges of energy. Pure bundles of energy we are. Everything is. Untapped, unfathomed energy. That's stable and chaos, balance and imbalance. Shifting.
What? Did you actually pay attention to physics in school?
Yeah, of course. It was really interesting. From the super huge to the super small and everything in between.
All I ever paid attention to was wiring a plug. I didn't look at anything smaller than that. But it was practical, at least.
So, the cloak. Well, at least it looks good and warm, seeing as you were out in the open all night. We've a meeting with Brickfielder at 10, so since I drove over here to get you, get a move on. In fact, we have that meeting now, we're late.
I swear, Harmington, the wind surged past, like pulses of energy as she spoke.
Who spoke?
I felt the wind brushing the hairs on the back of my hand. The looker for small things. That's what she said.
Who said? Now look, Tom, we're looking at big developments here, and there's so much estimating still to be done. I think you should tidy yourself up a bit. I've got a clean shirt back in the office. Throw some water in your face. And definitely don't be wearing that cloak. You make me uncertain. And that's not a good feeling when you've a meeting with Brickfielder. And don't mention the night's events to him. You'll have human resources calling you in for a little chat to see if you need some counselling or a bit of a sabbatical.
You need to be more feminine.
Feminine? I work in the office of estimation. It isn't the most feminine of places. What do you think? I should smooth my face with a little moisturizer?
A tie would be good.
Oh, Tom. Always so literal. You're fine as you are. Slim and masculine.
Thank you for the compliment.
I meant for you to think about what you're doing. Look at it. Really look at it. Not just as a job, but as a way of being in the world.
I heard her voice again.
Her voice? Whose voice?
The sound was away, and we were all here for our meeting. Brickfielder, Harmington, me, and other interested parties, contractors, builders, roads, water, sewage. A room full of men in suits, me among them, and we were straight into the meeting.
I'd like to bring this meeting to order. We have an apportioned time slot and an agenda. And and we will reach an agreed decision today. Now, Tom here has furnished a report on this virgin land. An area of outstanding natural beauty.
Yes, unspoilt. That was the report I put in.
Yes. Well, there's always plenty of arguments about those. Areas of outstanding natural beauty usually involve some trees. It's always about the roots, the depth of them, the years of growing, the dark secret habitats they form, homes nocturnal, the tangle of them, impenetrable.
The sound of change rushing on was rising. And there I was, estimating, best guessing. Time is missing from these plans. The time it took to have this square bit of the world exactly as it is, with all the trees that stand there, and the years it took to grow them, and the depths of fungus hidden under them.
Always the trees. That's why we left the trees off the plans. The trees are always in the way, clouding the issue. You can't see the wood for them.
There's all this space now where I counted thousands of trees. Rooted, earthbound, soil and water stable.
Always the trees.
The place represented on this plan is nothing like the place I visited. It doesn't represent the report I prepared. I only realized that all the trees were there when the woman I met gave me the cloak.
What woman? What cloak?
The estimators of housing and shops and roads and churches and where the nearest pub will be have forgotten that there is a place which secretes itself in the folds of the land, tight in against the side of the mountain, in among the trees. A place where no one's ever been, where there's no change.
No change. A place where no one's ever been.
No, we were the only ones there.
There are too many changes to these plans. They don't match the estimations I submitted. All the trees are gone from the plans.
I just want a word with Tom for a minute. What, you going to start another argument? Are you going to end up vetoing your own estimations?
I'm not even sure I heard right what she said.
She said? Who said there was no one there, Tom? Just a note with not very clear directions.
You thought you heard it on the wind, whistling somewhere on the shore, where the waves and the wind echo, returning the long run to the coast, a fetch of 1,000 miles or more.
There's a great big elephant in this room, sitting on top of everything, with a fearsome fit of flatulence. Tipping up our apple cart will just upset our balance. And no matter where I stand, there's a storm raging around my head, proclaiming that change is coming fast. Howling on the winds, howling on the winds, howling on the winds. But no one ever says they heard the story of change, except for you, Tom.
You know you heard it on the wind. The dusty Scirocco carries it north. The jet stream speeds it east. The damp Levanter west. And the biting Mistral south. And you will hear it again, Tom.
You'll hear about the changes. You might even see them. But no one ever says they heard the story of change, except for you, Tom.
These plans have been produced with all the trees left off. The place is covered in trees, thousands of them. Just because they won't be there next month is no reason not to show them. There are slow-growing trees, oaks and elms mixed in with the beech and ash, alder, birch, patches of hazel and holly, hundreds of years of growth, not there on the plans. The shadows ripped from their roots, the burrows and underground hides gone. It is completely unlike the place I stood in. The place you and I surveyed, Harmington. Why did you let Brickfielder leave all the trees off?
When climbing a mountain, one must remember to laugh when one trips or one falls. For falling inspires the one to climb higher, avoiding all future time falls. It's my happy fortune to have been blessed by falling, thus learning to pick myself up. I've dashed my knee 3 times, oh injuries of all kinds. I'm turning high on the top. Go and blow your brains to the wind. You are the hay and life is the pen. Your boat has sailed the placid lake dry. So take to the sea. Go on, give it a try. And if a storm should take your craft, look to the sky and hurl it aloft. Sometimes the wind blows and sometimes the hail throws, but steadfast as she goes, she'll get you to safe shores. You will find glory, keep telling that story. The end will arrive in good time. You counted every blessed, sacred tree in the place, meticulously, thousands of them, when you were only sent to get an estimation. It's time to get real, Tom. You were there, you surveyed it. So for convenience, we've left the trees off the plans. There's no need to make a big issue out of it. Here, Hunt, hand me a piece of paper. I'll do a quick cost-benefit analysis for you both. It's down to you that the place was spotted, Tom. You did the initial estimation of potential. The trees aren't really gone. We just couldn't be bothered cluttering up the topography with them. You work at the Office of Estimation, Tom. You should know. An approximation is as good as a fact.
I got lost in that place. The time of being a watcher in the world. The looking for small things.
Between the tree and the root, there's a space so dark. The moon doesn't shine and the dogs don't bark. The ring is in the wood, but you'll never find the time, because the space between the tree and root is neither yours nor mine.
I forgot the day time stood fast and lasted forever. I lost my way down a bog hole onto the Taher, a bog road made of sleepers. Trackways were there, were only shades of shadow, dark and deep. My head hurts, I've been thinking so long. My eyes sting, for I never cry anymore. The tears are stuck in their ducts. I want time to stand still. I really do. I can't face it.
the future.
Face on. Face to the wind.
The wind that sucks the breath from my body.
The wind
That I like and earn
Our strength supporting me.
The wind that pushes the clouds.
Bear the rain, pound the rock, and weather the mountain. Wind and rain, washing the land way down to the sea.
Deposit silt on the shore.
Water is the great dissolver.
Cities expand at the point at which the crust of the earth is sinking.
Pressed down by the growing river deltas.
The river, lifeblood of cities,
Help them sink into the waves.
The point at which the cities are sinking.
Cairo, Calcutta,
Bangkok,
Amsterdam,
Amsterdam,
cities are
London.
on a conveyor belt
Downwards.
crushed.
To be changed. To be fired in the furnace.
with no
Trace left.
Except when the sea rushes in. Preserves. Between the river and the sea, there's a place so stark. The fish don't breed no more planet Ark. The tide is on the rise, but you're out of time, because the space between river and sea is neither yours nor mine.
And in eons, the places where the mountains are formed, my city will rise, layer on layer. Crushed cellar, a room, a factory crazily tilted, or
just the concrete piles they rest on. Oh, the engineering. Let the ice caps melt. The quicker the better. 20 meters and rising, 100 meters, and the sea rushes in. Preserves the bones of it all. The bones of you and me. Preserved. I made you rock. Dug the sand and the gravel from the edge of Ice Age glaciers. I mined the dust of lime. Layers and layers laid down over the ages. Combined gravel, sand, lime, aggregate, bound in the drying. Oh, the engineering! And I made this new rock, and I poured it deep into the ground, deep into the mud, to make this place stronger. And still, it's sinking! Silted up. But the lights are blazing in all the towers. There is a brilliance here, a bright flare. Oh, the engineering, the towers, the stresses and their sways. Oh, the engineering, the way they keep in the wind, the sound of the wind about their heights. Oh, the engineering. I made this new rock, this concrete, to make this place stronger. And it carries the weight of my belief in the future. Oh, the engineering! Between the sun and the moon, there's a day so dark. The birds don't tweet and the stars don't spark. The halo's round the moon, but you're out of time, because the face between the wax and wane is neither yours nor mine.
I want time to stand still. I really do. Or at least the ground to stop shifting below my feet.
Cities have roots too.
Cables sticking out underground.
Sewers, pipes bring fresh water. Foundations stretching out far beyond the surface structures.
Underground.
Monumental footprint.
I made this city grow!
Is it not natural? The new rocks, I made them. Are they not natural?
There is no comparison. Roots deep in the earth to trees.
I want time to stand still.
I really do.
I really do. I can't face the future. And the slate will be wiped clean.
The cities are
still
expanding
expanding
right now.
There are people to be housed.
New rocks to be made.
Like the sunshine.
The rain falls.
And
The wind blows
deep
underground. The land forms, recycling everything.
Skeletons and concrete make excellent fossils.
This is the world I helped to make.
Shake the house where there was once a lake. Strip the hillside bare. Took care.
Let the access road.
I pushed the boundaries of where it was safe to live.
Floodplains,
Floodplains,
earthquake zones, moved mountains,
Literally, I have moved mountains.
flying every corner of the earth.
For there are just so many of us, many of us, many of
And
us.
your scruples are all very well.
But there are just so many of us, many of us, many of
And
us.
we all need somewhere to dwell. Come, we all need somewhere to dwell. Somewhere to smell the roses. The roses. And the carbon fire here to keep us warm. And there are just so many of us, many of us, many of us. To keep the chill from out our bones. And there are just so many of us, many of us, many of us. We're all addicted to carbon, boys. The fire and the light. And we'll keep on burning till the end, boys. Till the other side of night. And we'll never kick the habit, boys, of physics and desire. And we'll drill and crave till the end, boys. Big brain thoughts and fire. And we'll never kick the habit, boys, of physics and desire. And we'll drill and crave till the end, boys. Big brain thoughts and fire. Big brain! Big brain! Plants that scratch and plants that sting, and bugs that bite upon the wing. The outdoors, it's not good for your health.
I like the outdoors, the hills that call you ever on through wind and rain and hail and sun, to jump a shuck, to climb a stile, to rip your arse upon barbed wire. It's all good. I like the outdoors.
You like the outdoors and won't pay your bills. And what's the point in climbing hills? Mountain ranges built by devils, call the dozer, squish them level. The outdoors aggravates my lip.
I still like the outdoors.
Yeah. Brickfielder's suspicious of that trait in you. He likes to do his exercising indoors on machines. He rarely sets foot outside of his house, car, office, or gym.
I'm glad I decided to walk this morning. I just wanted to get a notion of the lay of the land. It took me 1 hour and 40 minutes to walk those 5 miles at a leisurely pace. It was a grand walk. I really enjoyed it. Balmy, not too hot, and the breeze was gently warm. You left over 1.5 hours later than me.
The road wasn't great. Did about 40 all the way. I was here in 7.5 minutes, maybe 8.
Brickfielder was sitting back in the office of estimation, so he was doing 0 miles.
I was doing 0 miles an hour relative to you for 1.5 hours, and then I was doing 40 miles an hour relative to Brickfielder and 37 relative to you.
0, 3, 37, 40, it's all relative. It took you the least time to get here, but we're still here at the same time. I was the one who felt the warm breeze, and the sun on my face and neck. I saw the cattle in that field below. 2, motionless, facing away to the west. Another 2, motionless, facing away to the east. The rest chomping, except for the one lying down, and the one having a good scratch. And all of them farting methane. Tons of gas floating away up into the atmosphere. Heating it. Come on, let's get the stuff out.
The tools of the trade, Tom. We are the earth moppers. No stone, blade of grass, pool, crevice, or pebble will escape our notice. Triangulation, that's the thing. Every hollow and fall, rise and dip, sweep and plummet, mapped. All mapped. We take the measurements down, map it, send the figures back. Brickfielder and I will have the plans drawn up.
Have you got the survey reference marked on that? The run of the slope is northwest to southeast.
Steep up that way. 1 and 3 gradient.
That's all the measurements. I'll give you a bell when I'm ready. Or I might just walk.
I'll leave you to it then.
I must have nodded off while I was doing the estimations, just after the packed lunch and the flask of tea I had brought. There's a stream near the south edge of the wooded hillside. It was babbling, soporific. I just rested my eyes for a moment.
get cold as he's sleeping.
What plans are laid for this place will be real by tomorrow. Life moves so fast, as if time was speeding up. Even the children are saying that. There was a time when no one under the age of 30 used to say that the years were flying by. Now even the young ones are saying it. The time moves fast. When I was young, there was so much time to fill. Filled in observation of the world moving relatively faster than I was. Is time really objectively speeding up? Going faster because we live faster? Have we really speeded up time? More energy is devoted to movement, the less there is for time. Your clock, your metronome is ticking as I move towards you. I move relative to you. My clock ticks slower. Our lives that are short on years can be long on seconds. It's the small stuff we're supposed to remember. The really tiny stuff. A flicker of light. The smell of grass or wood. The smell and taste of good food or the dried on muck after a good game. Have you noticed, Tom, that these trees have evolved to live a very long time by standing still?
I want time to stand still. I really do. To be without a shred of motion for a day. Still for a day.
Time needs no help from us to go whistling by. And ice house and warming and mass extinction and greenhouse and warming and mass extinction.
250 million years ago, the greatest mass extinction, wiping out of nearly all life on the planet. The demise of Paleozoic ecosystems.
And ice house and greenhouse and mass extinction.
400 million years, life invades land.
And ice house and greenhouse.
550 million years, Cambrian explosion. Origin of all major animal groups.
End of snowball Earth. Less than 1 billion years ago and still. There's another 3.5 billion years of abundant microbial life left in the seas. Continent formation. Land oxidation. Major oxygenation of the oceans leading to even more abundant microbial life in the sea.
Oldest microfossils. Photosynthesis begins. Life begins at 4 billion years, only 500 million years after the moon forming impact. And back, and back, and back, to the earth was formed.
A clear distinction. The earth was devoid of life for part of its history and then, quite abruptly, acquired life. And here you are. 4.5 billion years later. It's as if the entire 4.5 billion years of the history of the Earth was leading right to this moment, when you would arrive. That was what happened yesterday. And here's what happens tomorrow.
I just enjoyed the walk over. The cows farting in the field, all grass and chewing and belching methane. And I sent in my estimations. I moved around then trying to get a signal, to get in touch with you, tell you to come and collect me. Time passed and left all the trees off. It's like Mariah said, that whatever was planned would be real tomorrow. Well, it's tomorrow, and there are no trees. The water runs brown here when it rains. It looks dirty, but hey, it's good clean muck. Not like gray wastewater, curdled thick with soap scum. Pull the plug on it. Flush it away into the stream, into the river. Feed the Shadowmen. They grow stronger. I can smell them on the corners of moonlit crossroads. They hide against what's left of the hedges, nightshades. They're there in the daylight, bled of all substance in the sun. Then the moon rises and they're there in the blue nightlight, waiting for you to trip, fall on your face.
When you least expect it, I'd circle on the moon. Says I'm not the least bit tired. Let's not depart too soon. For the night is blue enough for the both of us, never wants to fade out, are we? Got the measure of, found the treasure of silver day, blue night.
This is the place I ended up. The wind soughing over the hill. Now it's bogland. It turned from wooded hillside to bogland the day those idiots, Brickfielder and Harmington, decided to leave all the trees off the plans. The bog is acid, brown, butter soft. And missing are the carbon stores, the oxygen generators, the air filters. Why be a tree? To grow tall and live long, stabilize the soil, play host to a multitude, to be tranquil, to be still, while every leaf quivers on a passing breath of wind.
Well, they're all gone now. The trees. And there's no going back. What would you have me do? Let all the staff go? Turn back the clock? Harmington told me you walked to the site yesterday. I didn't know you've got all that time on your hands for walking.
Well, it was his own time. He got there at the same time as me, and the estimations he did were excellent. He had them back to us in no time.
Yes. woodland to this in such a short time. But don't worry, Tom. It's all low carbon. Everything we do is geared for the future now. We got windmills flying on all the hilltops, and turbines pumping in the wash of the tide, and solar cells capturing light.
Are there enough to keep the lights lit?
I believe in this magic. I believe in progress. In delivering the future. I carry the weight of my belief in the future.
Okay, what if the ice caps melt very quickly? Over a period of 5, 10, 20 years?
At a certain fixed point on the horizon, Tom, you and I will be toast. That's not morbid. I'm a realist. I'm as down to earth as they come. Feet of clay. Well, not clay, because clay is sticky. And I'm not stuck in the mud. Anyway, I'm grounded. At that point, I will be happy to feed the planet that made me. That's not morbid at all. But for now, I have plans.
Oh, the end is nigh. Tom, you're so serious. The world goes through cooling and warming cycles. Get a grip of reality.
Get a grip of this development.
The soil, the earth, the dirt, the muck, the sand, the rocks, the gases, the fossils. I have been part of pulling the guts out of it for years. Am I a builder or a pourer of concrete? Do I know how to get shelter and food? I don't know, and neither do you, Harmington.
So you're beginning to understand the metaphor, Tom? The one that says, only take what can be grown, used for clothing, water, shelter, from 0.4 hectares. Use any more than that, and we might just need those 4, 6, 8 habitable planets that we haven't got. They're not even on the horizon. They're nowhere to be seen. You are beginning to see it now, Tom. All your trees. They're gone. There is only bog. Even the city you were estimating for, it's gone.
I walked and slept yesterday, and everything moved relative to me. I was so still. Time slowed to time, endless before me and endless after me. My breath crackles in the cold of an ice age. Then warming. The glaciers flowing, the waters rising, the floods sweeping over the land. We remember 400 generations back to the retreating of the ice. We do know. We do remember. There are stories about it everywhere. Floods of change. As the waters settled, I walked and rode. I climbed mountains, crossed oceans and deserts. I hunted and gathered.
And even my gathering is a slow sunrise to sunset dance. I know when the trees flower by the phases of the moon or tracking the sun across the sky. I decorate my body in earth dyes, browns and reds and purples.
The planet is perturbed. And all in the name of getting to the future faster.
The old certainty of the solid world is washed away on the rising tide. The shadows of the Shadowmen are long, cover much of the surface of the water and land. We've been underground for an eternity.
Laughing and crying, standing in rooms are they, tiresome and love is all lay in the pond, white on the leaf in the light of the mast on the ground. Maybe a tiger will lift them from out their blue and catch them in his vast jaws and whisk them from out the room. And the tiger, my love, he will come from the pond, forged underneath in the fires of the vast underground. Falling through the falling slowly, surf and sun will cease. Wake the sleeper, wake the sleepers, wake the underneath. Sailing on big ships, never a man did make. Wrapped in oils and sheepskins, but unwilling to leave the lake. But the fathoms, my love, are full deep in the pond, cool underneath in the seas of the vast underground. I'm empowered, as and rocky sound. Holy earth and newly birthed in glory underground.
I have been underground so long. The shadow in the peat.
The flesh and bones of me have been underground for so long.
So long underground that just to stand on the bog made me feel like a bird on the breeze. This flesh is beautiful, even as it breaks down into its components, as it feeds the soil. Dark and deep, it is beautiful. Skin, bone, blood.
You are starlight, made of stardust flung out across the universe. And the matter, the stuff of you will survive, even the shadows underground.
The Shadowmen live on the trackways through the bog. They come out in the blue shade of full moon. I can smell them on the corners of moonlit crossroads. They hide against a hedge, and only their stench gives them away. I looked down an empty glen, and I saw that all the trees were gone. I didn't know if there was anyone else alive.
The Shadowmen rotted them all away.
It's easy to call them the ghosts. They send shivers and spill tears. We're here to help. Help you remember. We're here to help. Help you remember. The Shadowmen are here to help. Help remember.
The Shadowmen aren't real. They're just ghosts that I choose to believe in. Tom, did you see it? Blue in the darkness. Did you see the blue-green planet? The most subtle, intricate, varied, complex and valuable object from billions of miles in any direction.
I can see for miles on a day. Underground, undersea, where the waters meet, where Gulf Stream meets Arctic Ocean. Kelp waves move in the water wind. The algae blooms for the blue-green planet. Warm surface currents and deep, cold Arctic water dives deep, so deep, pulling oxygen along. The ocean, heart and lungs of the world. Where would I be without my heart and lungs?
Not alive, that's for sure.
What if the poles are melting?
You know what's on the way, Tom. Or at least you could estimate. We should make a stand against extinction. Adapt to the shrinking landmass, maybe even breathing underwater. But have we got it in us to work to dodge extinction? The world is changing.
Now that would be evolution. To survive,
Mass extinction.
to know it was coming.
And to do something to survive.
Evolution past,
Outward appearances.
encouraging mutations.
Oh, as many possible mutations.
If we're in for a hothouse, then darker skin.
It would be an advantage in the searing heat.
What else?
Large lungs.
Better again, lungs and
Gills!
mutation, mutation, mutation is evolution, evolution, evolution. That regressive racism gene.
We'll have to be bred out and fast, or else we won't evolve quickly enough to survive.
We can't face extinction this soon.
Well, we didn't give ourselves time to evolve.
Does knowing we can extinguish ourselves,
Still give us the option to try to avoid becoming extinct.
I think we have a new development.
The world is changing. Have you kept your humanity, Tom?
The world is changing. Refugees flood our shores from low-lying lands all across Southeast Asia and the cities on deltas all across the world. If I have fed and clothed myself, my children, grandchildren, would I share with a stranger a glass of milk, a bed for the night? I find it really hard to answer. I like to think I would, but I'm not sure. I think I'm going to be tested in my lifetime. But now at least I've thought the thought. Would I share as the land shrinks?
Where are those 4, 6, 8 habitable planets when you need them?
Tom, are we inventive enough to survive to see the dying of the sun?
I want time to stand still. I really do. I'm lost in a hill, under sea, in the rocks, but you won't look for me. I laid a trail using stones from a beach, but you won't look for me. Tentatively waving my hand from this place, hoping to catch your eye, dropping in bells and a dazzling light, but I'm lost to you no matter how hard I try.
I'm lost in a hill, under sea, in the rocks, but you won't look for me. Though I stuck the key to your new PC screen, you won't look for me. Could it just be that you're busy today? TV and bickies and tea. Too busy to worry about walking the earth. Too busy to go looking for me. Lost in a hill on the sea, in the rocks, but you won't look for me.
rocks, but you won't look for me. I'm lost in a hill, under sea, in the rocks, but you won't look for me. I'm lost in a sea made of ink, paper sheets, but you won't look for me. Though I surely know where the wildflowers grow, you won't look for me. Maybe the key is to get lost myself. I'm busy, my fingers with soil. No worry of cities, no hurry for time, no worry for oil. I'm lost like a fact I ignore. Turn my back so you won't look for me. The mortar inside is the place where I hide so you won't look for me. It's always the case that I'm busy today, tomorrow, next week, next year. Travel 4 days just to make it my own. Still, you never draw near. I'm lost in a hill, on the sea, in the rocks, but you won't look for me. I'm lost in a hill, on the sea, in the rocks, but you won't look for me. I'm lost in a hill, on the sea, in the rocks, but you won't